we were speaking during the break how you don't want to be subject to racism, and that's totally valid. And I don't think you'd like living under a mayor that's like, well, I don't dislike all black people. I only dislike some.
That's not the same thing. That is not the same thing. That is not the same thing.
I actually don't think that's what. I don't know if that's what. I don't want to.
Don't drag us into that, by the way.
I don't drag you into what?
Don't drag us into your discussion about that it's the same thing as black people. Don't drag us into that.
This is the last word here.
Don't drag us into that.
The mayor's wife is a jihadist. Let's be honest with ourselves.
Hold on, guys. Let me let Mark finish his thought.
When you like people raping and murdering, that is terrorism.
And when you elect a president that sexually assaults women, that's enabled.
Emily and Ashley, please stop.
Guys, last night on Abby Phillip show, MAGA pundits were absolutely wrecked for targeting New York's mayor, Zohran Mamdani. Progressive panelist Charles Blow fact-checked the MAGA panelists so hard, they went into complete silence. Guys, right now, the entire Republican Party is scared of Zohran Mamdani. They're scared of his style of politics. He doesn't bootlick the billionaires or the trillionaires of this country like the other politicians. People of New York City love him because he actually cares about their rights. Now, I'm going to play some clips from the show. I'll give my opinion as we go.
Well, the rise of socialism in the Democratic Party hurt the Democrats' chances in November. Bill Maher says absolutely.
If this is where the Democratic Party is going, where this democratic socialist, this obsession with Israel, with the Jew hating, with they don't believe in capitalism, no prisons. If this is where they're going, my vote is in play.
Okay.
And
I like to hear that.
It actually always has been. Every year, I don't make my decision by who was an R or a D. I actually always came to the conclusion that the Democrat was probably better.
Sure.
And voted for them.
Okay.
And Trump can't run again, and he'd be a little too exciting for me anyway. So it's either going to be you or Rubio.
Charles, what do you make of that?
Listen, Maher does not like Mamdani. These are Mamdani's candidates. He doesn't like the positions that these people have taken. We understand that. Anybody who's followed Maher knows that. I do think the idea that democratic socialism is some sort of boogeyman that people are running away from in the country, I think people are overplaying that. I don't think that's true. I don't think people, particularly after this particular president, I don't think people are shocked by much. I don't think they're turned off necessarily by much of what somebody has said or done, because we have a model in the presidency that has done horrible, crazy, said awful things, and it's still the president of the United States. So I just don't think it is as big a deal as people are making it out to be.
I don't think that was the point. I think the point was, yeah, maybe the socialism's not taking over the country. I don't think we're near there, and anyone who says otherwise is being hysterical. But I think the loudest voices and faces of the Democratic Party are the socialists, it's the AOCs. Mamdani is probably the most spoken about person in the country right now. And if that's the face of the party, it's doing a good favor to the Republicans in the upcoming election.
Do you know how happy New York is right now? Do you know how cool it is to see your mayor? Do you know how cool it is to see your mayor jump in a pool with the kids?
I don't give a damn about the mayor jumping in the pool.
Yeah,
I care about the future of New York. I care about my safety. I care about my children's life.
Homicides are down in New York City.
Yeah.
Rent freezes are happening. Campaign promises are being delivered.
They're punishing capitalism.
You're saying
New York is a city of capitalism with a socialist mayor. He's going to drive everyone to Panama.
No,
he's going to drive everyone to
not.
Puerto Rico. How many billionaires are already leaving?
Yeah, I just think that y'all are missing the plot too here, because this happened in your party as well. And actually, if you compared from when another form of extremism. Actually,
well, it's on both sides.
MAGA actually happened in your party. So what happened in your party was Barack Obama was elected, the Tea Party started. Everybody was like, there's no way, there's no way. The Tea Party is in power right now because people were actually sick of the status quo. Doesn't matter what the other side labels it. When people feel like they're actually being listened to, which a lot of people actually felt like they were being listened to with Donald Trump, which is why he won a second term. I'm willing to concede that. They don't really feel that right now. And some people actually feel like the traditional and establishment Democrats are not listening to them.
I care about facts, not feelings. And the fact is that Mamdani makes everyone feel good, but what he's doing is not good.
He's delivering on his campaign promises.
I know, and his campaign was horrendous. I agree with you.
But he's not delivering
on socialism.
Ashley's point is that there's an anti-establishment wave, and Mamdani, AOC, others are riding it.
And Donald Trump
is that not what's happening?
I don't think it's that harmless. I think the reality.
Guys, leftists like Mamdani show that government can actually work for the people. And that's the last thing that billionaires and their facilitators want. I believe we're reaching an inflection point where the term socialism is starting to carry more political benefits than costs for the candidates operating within the Democratic coalition. While it continues to alienate some older and moderate voters, that effect is declining rapidly as Cold War associations lose potency. Guys, New Yorkers making Mamdani their mayor is proof that Americans are starting to see common sense. They now vote for reasonable politicians who actually want to help the working class. Republicans are nervous because Mamdani is showing that left-leaning populism is the next political force.
Is that candidates in New York actually were part of those organizing rallies at Columbia chanting death to America. This is not just about rent control. This is something that is far more harmful to our country. But to your question about the midterms.
But wait, Mark, have you actually seen those people chant death to America?
Yeah, at Columbia University, yeah.
People getting kidnapped and raped on October 7th.
It's
the
pretty
mayor's
awful.
wife is a jihadist. Let's be honest with ourselves.
Guys, let me let Mark finish his thought.
When you like people raping and murdering,
Emily,
that is
please stop.
terrorism.
Emily,
So I'm
stop.
glad
When you elect a president that sexually assaults women,
Emily,
that's enabled.
Emily and Ashley, please stop for a second.
I think this is going to be a bigger albatross for Democrats after the midterms, because I think these people will likely get elected, and they're going to be boon as fundraiser for Republicans. They're going to be a terrible problem for Jeffries. But midterms are usually about the party in power.
But New
And so
Yorkers
I don't
feel
think it's
good.
have as
That's all
much
that
an impact
matters.
about the politics this November.
And the idea of a Jewish state, Israel is a Jewish state, that's in the charter. That's the way it is now. Do you support that?
I've said time and again that I support the state of Israel as a state with equal rights. I believe that any state that
But as
preferences...
a Jewish state is the question.
I think any state that privileges one religion over the other is one that I can't tell you I support, whether it be Israel or Saudi Arabia or anywhere else. And a lot of that comes back to a fundamental belief that we should all be considered equal no matter what our faith is.
So Mark was asking in the break, is it just the economics or is it also stuff like that, Ashley, that has caused the rise of these Mamdani-esque candidates?
Well, I think putting it all under the banner of socialism actually is a misnomer. I think the socialism policies actually are the economic policies. I also think that there are people that have great issues with our alliance to Israel. Am I one of those people? I do think Israel is our ally. Do I like the current government of Israel? No. Do I like the current government of the United States? No. I'm still allowed to do that because we live in a democracy and we're able to have freedom of speech. Does that mean I should be persecuted for that? No. Could I be persecuted for that? Potentially. And is that how some people are seeing what is happening to Palestinians? So I think Mamdani's answer, in my opinion, is where I'm aligned. I think that people should be able to express their religion, express their sexuality, express their race, and express their ideologies free, whether it's a
That's what they
Muslim
can do in Israel,
So
not
then
other
on both-
countries.
not
in the region.
Palestinians.
Palestinians
Not Palestinians.
are Supreme Court judges in Israel. Palestinians have rights
Not
to
at the
vote
West
in the
Bank.
election.
Not
Well,
in the
West Bank
occupation.
doesn't want to be part of Israel. Neither does Gaza. So if they were
So-
part of Israel, then they can
Not
have the same
Palestinians
rights
that
as
live in
Israelis.
Israel.
Here's
They
what I want to
can't-
ask you,
They
Charles. I
absolutely
mean,
can.
are Republicans making a mistake to assume that that sentiment that we just heard from Mamdani is something that is only reserved for far left liberals? Because when I look at the polling and I see young, conservatives, their views on Israel have shifted sharply negative over the last couple of years.
And I think I'm looking at the same polls that you're looking at, which is why I'm always confused when people pick out people on the left who are running for office and say that they have said something that was offensive, and they say that they, as you have said before, that that they are horrible people and you condemn them, right? So, but when Randy Fine in Florida was running for office, who Donald Trump actually endorsed, and he said that Palestinian is just another word for demon, which is still up on his Twitter page right now. I looked to see if either of you had ever condemned him for that, and I might have missed it. My fault. I will give you the opportunity right now to condemn that the same way that you are condemning the other people.
There you go, condemned. I think we could
so
agree.
much. I appreciate
think we
that.
could agree
I appreciate-
two things
I
are
really
wrong.
appreciate
think we
that.
have-
I really appreciate
I mean, I
that.
think it's the bare minimum to be like, hey, Palestinians are human too.
I appreciate
but I
that
don't
so much.
appreciate when my mayor is like, oh, I don't dislike Jews. I only dislike Zionists. Okay, well, what if I told you majority of Jews were Zionists? Like, we were speaking during the break how...
Guys, personally, I like Mamdani. I'm mainly a fan of how he's methodically going about getting stuff done. He's working on core issues of the New Yorkers. He has zero fear of the billionaire class who spent billions to defeat him in the elections. And secondly, I don't know why the Republican base is so biased against Mondani. I mean, they don't even know what socialism is, or communism, or the difference. They'll cheer on bombing countries they've never heard of, or spending $1 trillion on a war no one wanted, but they freak out at the idea of spending that money on healthcare, education, social security, whatever, even though it's the money we paid for those things. They should be freaking out about the fact that they're not getting basic healthcare, they're not getting cheaper groceries, they're not getting cheaper housing. I mean, this mindset is just so dumb.
You don't want to be subject to racism, and that's totally valid. And I don't think you'd like living under a mayor that's like, well, I don't dislike all black people. I only dislike some.
That's not,
I'm
that's
sure
not
you
the same
have
thing.
valid.
That is not the same
Because
thing.
most Jews
That is
aren't
not the
that
same
good.
I
thing.
actually don't think
That is
that's
not the
what.
same thing.
I don't
That
know
is
if
not
that's
the same
what.
thing.
I don't
Don't
want
drag us into that, by the way.
I don't.
Drag you into
No,
what?
don't drag us into. Don't drag us into
let me
your
let
discussion about
Ashley
that it's the same thing as black
Ashley,
people. Don't drag us
this
into
is the
that.
last word here.
Don't drag us into that.
I think that people. I think what I hear when I actually hear Mondani speak is that he says that he does not like the ideology of having a religious state. Whether it is, he said, Saudi Arabia, which is a predominantly Muslim state, or Israel, which is a predominantly
No, I
Jewish
hear you,
state.
but he never talks about the other states, and I think we could.
He literally
Outside of this interview,
he
has he
literally
ever
said it.
made it his point to constantly talk about
I really want to just let Ashley finish this thought.
Never, but just
He never
the
talks
you
about
just
the
saw.
other
But I
ones.
think that's the problem, right? Is that folks are so dug in on this. And I understand it as someone who is not a part of either one of those communities. Because I was sitting at a table on October 7th with a Palestinian and with somebody who has lived in Israel. And I saw the tension, and I thought it was not my place to get in it. So I understand the personal pain that both of those folks are feeling. But I think words actually do matter. And what he said in that interview is what you're saying he didn't say.
Yeah, but his wife was liking videos of women getting raped on October 7th. So I don't know if I care about Mamdani's words, to be honest with you.
Well, then
When the
can I
woman
say
he
I don't know if I
married,
care about
who I'm
Donald
sure he
Trump's
supports.
words when he says
But
he's
follow
not.
his actions, exactly. Don't
He
listen to
tweeted
Trump's
apes.
words. Don't
He
follow his
tweeted
words,
apes.
follow his
He
actions. I
discriminated
want
against-
Mamdani's actions to be as generous
But
as his
Emily,
words.
but
I hope
Emily,
so.
Emily, I am actually following Trump's words and actions. He tweeted apes. He had somebody on his backyard that called the first black lady, the first black first lady, a man. He discriminated in the 70s against black people in housing. He actually called for the
Biden.
execution of the exonerated five. I am not only watching his words, I am watching the most powerful man's actions, and I am also being told to ignore that.
All right, guys, that's it for today's video. Please subscribe for daily videos. I'll see you again soon with another one.